The universe is everything, from the tiniest particles to the largest galaxies to the very existence of space, time, and life. But how did it all begin? The origin of the universe is the origin of everything. Multiple scientific theories, plus creation myths from around the world, have tried to explain its mysterious genesis. However, the most widely accepted explanation is the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory states that the universe began as a hot and infinitely dense point. Only a few millimeters wide, it was similar to a supercharged black hole. About 13.7 billion years ago, this tiny singularity violently exploded. And it is from this explosion, this bang, that all matter, energy, space, and time were created. What happened next were two major stages of the universe's evolution. Called the radiation and matter eras, they're defined by key events that helped shape the universe. First came the radiation era, named for the dominance of radiation right after the Big Bang. This era is made of smaller stages, called epochs, that occurred within the universe's first tens of thousands of years. The earliest is the Planck epoch. No matter existed in the universe at this time, only energy and the ancestor to the four forces of nature, the superforce. At the end of this stage, however, a key event occurred in which gravity split away from the superforce. Next came the Grand Unification epoch, named for the three remaining unified forces of nature. This epoch ended when one of those forces, called strong or strong nuclear, broke away. Then, the inflationary epoch began, during which the universe rapidly expanded. Almost instantly, it grew from the size of an atom to the size of a grapefruit. The universe at this time was piping hot, and it churned with electrons, quarks, and other particles. Then came the electroweak epoch, when the last two forces, electromagnetic and weak, finally split off. During the next stage, the quark epoch, all of the universe's ingredients were present. However, the universe was still too hot and dense for subatomic particles to form. Then, in the hadron epoch, the universe cooled down enough for quarks to bind together and form protons and neutrons. In the lepton and nuclear epochs, the radiation era's last two stages, the protons and neutrons underwent a significant change. They fused and created nuclei. And in doing so, they created the first chemical element in the universe, helium. The universe's new ability to form elements, the building blocks of matter, cued the matter era. Much as the name suggests, the matter era is defined by the presence and predominance of matter in the universe. It features three epochs that span billions of years, the vast majority of the universe's lifespan, and includes the present day. The first was the atomic epoch. In this stage, the universe's temperature cooled down enough for electrons to attach to nuclei for the first time. Called recombination, this process helped create the universe's second element, hydrogen. This hydrogen, along with helium atoms, dotted the universe with atomic clouds. Within the clouds, small pockets of gas may have had enough gravity to cause atoms to collect. These clusters of atoms, formed during the galactic epoch, became the seedlings of galaxies. Nestled inside those galaxies, stars began to form. And in doing so, they cued the latest and current stage of the universe's development, the stellar epoch. The formation of stars then caused a tremendous ripple effect and helped shape the universe as we know it. Heat within the stars caused the conversion of helium and hydrogen into almost all the remaining elements in the universe. In In turn, those elements became the building blocks for planets, moons, life, everything we see today. This ecosystem of everything was only possible because of the many stages in the universe's development. While countless questions about the origins of our universe remain, it's only a matter of time for some long-sought answers to emerge.
This is my observation and understanding towards this theory called Big Bang Theory, or also known as the origin of the universe. This theory is also known as the creator of the universe, and Stephen Hawking proposed the Big Bang Theory, also known as the first man to discover the happening of the Big Bang Theory. This Big Bang Theory states that the universe began in a hot and infinitely dense point, and only a few millimeters wide, similar to a supercharged black hole, and happened 13.7 billion years ago, and scattered to four different kinds of elements called matter, energy, space, and time. What happens next is two types of eras formed right after the Big Bang happened. They are called as radiation era and matter era. Wait lang. Then, right after the radiation era and matter era was formed, the inflation theory happened, meaning the universe rapidly expanded to a cone shape. First is an atomic epoch. Stars began to form during the atomic epoch and stellar effects. Then the universe was formed. First was the moon, earth, sun, life, because of the elements and the stages that happened right after the Big Bang. Then that is the origin of the universe, or how the universe was created.
Form out of formlessness, order out of chaos, and the struggle to sustain that order are the heart of ancient Egyptian stories of creation. However, it's complicated. Let's take a look. Who created the universe and how might depend on where and when you were in ancient Egypt. The myths do, however, all share some common threads. Welcome to Teller's Compendium. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Myths aren't usually meant to be taken literally. Instead, they help us to understand our world by examining complex themes and creating inner reflection. These themes often include what is right and what is wrong, what is our role or purpose, how should we live, and what happens when we die. These are truly at the core of the human experience and govern how we interact with our world and each other. Due to our wonderful diversity, the conversation and reality of these ideas change, not only from place to place, but also from time to time. The ancient Egyptians were no different. Although their religion and mythology survived for nearly 6,000 years, longer than any other in human history. The reasons for these changes may vary, but include not only the tide of social values, but also the political landscape, as various groups or pharaohs tried to put themselves at the forefront of divine importance. Still, despite change, some elements seem to be common among most Egyptian mythology. One of these elements is the idea of the relationship between chaos and order. The idea of order and justice, which the Egyptians called Ma'at, was central to their view of the universe and their daily life. It is interesting that so many mythologies have this idea that the universe started in chaos, or nothingness, to which order was then brought, leading to the creation of the world, the gods, and humankind. Why do so many have this idea, and where did it come from? After all, the Big Bang theory of the universe is a 20th century idea derived from scientific observation. How is it that early people, 6,000 or 7,000 years ago, already knew this through their mythologies? Did they have great knowledge that has been lost to us today? Were they given this knowledge by visitors from another world? Were their gods real? Now these are questions for other stories, but something to keep in mind as we explore the Egyptian creation mythology. This story comes from an ancient scroll, known as the Bremner Rhine Papyrus, currently at the British Museum in London. This scroll contains a book called The Overthrowing of Apep, the Enemy of Ra, which describes the creation of the universe from the perspective of its creator. For ancient Egyptians, the time before time, our primordial beginnings, start in a great sea of chaos, which they called the Nu. This sea of chaos was a formless void of unutilized inertia with unlimited potentiality. Within this sea was Nebertcher, which means the limitless one. Nebertcher became aware and desired to create the world and experience it. He spoke his name, Atum, and created his form out of the chaos. Atum rose out of the sea, the Nu, and realized he was alone. There was no land to stand upon, or others to experience. Atum spoke another word, the name of the firmament, and the waters of the Nu receded, revealing a great mound for him to stand upon. Atum dreamed of his children, then spoke their names, Shu and Tefnut, creating them into existence. Shu was the dryness of air, and Tefnut was moisture. Shu and Tefnut desired to explore the expanse of the Nu, and so they left Atum to wander. Much time had passed, and Atum greatly missed his children and worried over them. He sent his eye to search for them in the chaos. The eye eventually found Shu and Tefnut and brought them back to their father. Atum was overjoyed and wept at the sight of his children's return. From his tears were born people and all the creatures of the world. While the eye was gone, searching for Shu and Tefnut, another eye had grown in its place. When it returned, it became distraught that it had been replaced, but Atum loved his eye.
I find it rather difficult to accept the Egyptian creation till given the events and the way it was created and put together, but I came to see that it genuinely depends on people's personal views, and these peoples are Egyptian. I am truly amazed by the historical details and have come to the conclusion that I shouldn't dump the diversity of this ancient culture.